You know, you've committed a lot of unusual and groundbreaking scenes on film over the decades. I mean, starting with Clockwork Orange, you know, you've done Caligula, you've done Cat People, stuff that had really strange scenes in it. Do you really even get shocked anymore when something comes into a film, you're like, oh, well, I've never seen that, or I can't do that after these films have passed through your repertoire?
Well, I don't get shocked by anything, but you know, in this elenco, this film I'm talking about, I actually had to do a nude scene. You know, at my age, I used to do them, you know, in the 60s and 70s, but to do nude scenes now, and the cop who's interrogating me, you know, he strips off too, but of course, you know, there's this actor, Martin Shokash, he's like a 37-year-old Adonis. I'm going, why should I appear on screen with this fucking New Zealander? I mean, look at him, he's like chiseled. I mean, I really don't think that's fair. But it was the most amazing scene I think I've ever shot, that whole interrogation with both of us naked. I mean, it was really wild. Am I whetting your appetite for this film?
I want to hear the story about you and Oliver Reed.
Oh my God. I'll tell you, I did a film with Oliver Reed in the early 70s, I think 73 or 4 or 5, something like that, called Royal Flash. And it was rather a wonderful film, and a terrific director called Dick Lester, who was very famous for doing all the Beatles movies, Help and all that. Anyway, Oliver Reed, who had a hell of a reputation as being, you know, a complete drunkard, was cast as Bismarck, and actually I must say his performance is incredible. He's a great actor, Oliver, take nothing away from him. But there were 2 duels I had in this sequence. It was a sort of Victorian, you know, swashbuckling thing, and I'm playing this character, Harry Flashman, who was a great coward. That's all I'll tell you about it. Anyway, I had to learn how to sword fight, and one of the sword fights was with Alan Bates, and it was like 380 strokes. I was in every scene in the movie, and Alan was in, you know, he had a supporting part, and every time I'd come in for lunch, I'd see him doing this. So the bastard was rehearsing this thing, knowing, of course, that I hadn't had one rehearsal, and he's going smugly. And I'm going, oh. Anyway, I had this whole thing with Oliver Reed, and I had to fight what they call a Schlager fight with Oliver Reed. Now, a Schlager fight is this Bavarian, weird Bavarian sword fight, where you take these foils and you flip the foil from the back of your head. You can't move your wrist. You cannot leave it from the back of your head, and you flick the thing like this. It's absolutely, you know, a total, utter German weird thing. And I'm not surprised, you know, the Nazis found great favor there. So they just whip the thing over, and you weren't allowed to move your hand. So, you know, I go in and with Dick Lester to do a rehearsal of this. We come into the rehearsal room, and I see Oliver Reed, who is facing a sort of a figure that's hanging up on a chain that's full of sand. He's got this thing, and he's literally doing this. And sand is going everywhere. I come in on this scene, and I go, I thought we were doing a Schlager thing like this, right? And he goes,
I was just going to interject.
yeah.
Oliver Reed was very famous for hurting people in fights, and sword fights and fist fights, because he would never do what was rehearsed. Always end up knocking.
Thank you. That is also true.
Really almost cut off Chrisley's.
This is true.
You have to know Oliver Reed was nuts.
So yeah, we're talking psychotic, fucking crazy. So anyway, I look at this, my heart sort of sinks, and I went, look, I want to, where's the expert? And I looked around the room, there were like 20 people in the room, and I see one guy who literally, his face is covered in scars. And I went, hair, whatever. I take it you're the expert. I went, oh, well, could you show me, please? And he's explaining it to me in pidgin English, and I'm trying to figure it out. And Oliver's still slashing away. And I sort of went, you mean like, boom. And I went like this, and the sword just cut the guy. The expert, it almost cut his nose off. I mean, literally sliced him. And I went, oh my God! I'm terribly sorry. What happened? I get the guy to the hospital. You know, it just sort of, it was like a line. And suddenly, after like a minute, there was blood everywhere. They rushed him out. Oliver came over, and he went, not bad. I said, no, as a matter of fact, don't fuck with me, I'm telling you. So we get down to shoot this scene, and Oliver's there, flexing his sword saber like this. I walk on, right? And I just thought, you know what? Ollie's a big bully. So they went, are we ready to rehearsal? I went, no rehearsal, let's just do it. Really? Yeah, come on, fuck this. Let's go. Yeah, action, shoot, quack. He went, he threw the sword down. He said, I'm not working with this asshole, he's a complete psychotic. And he walked off.
We have another question?
What do we do? What do we do? Oh, God. You know, it's just a matter of luck how I became an actor, really. You know, I went to this boarding school, and the principal of the school loved the theater. And every year there'd be 2 productions at our school. One Christmas pantomime or musical comedy in Christmas, and then a Shakespeare production in the summer. And when I was 11 years old, I was chosen to play Aladdin in this musical. And I remember going onto the stage. It was quite a sophisticated thing for a school, had all the lights, the whole deal. And I remember just feeling relaxed and at home. And so I always thought, all the way through school, I played in all the great parts in Shakespeare, I always thought, if all else fails, I can always be an actor. And so I became an actor very fast.